Hello.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Webheads podcast. It's me, Steven, who you can, if you're watching this, you can finally see. My brother here.
Marco, my voice is a little scratchy, sorry. This is better. This is my real voice.
This is my man voice.
What's up, everybody?
What's up? This
You can
is
see us.
the Webheads podcast, a comic event podcast, not affiliated with any certain company, but we only talk about one.
So, if you guys haven't been listening before, this is a show where we talk about Marvel events. We go through and we read the ones we want to read, talk about them. You guys listen. Hopefully, you guys will go out and read those and, create a big community of people who want to just read them, people who've never read them, people who've never read comics at all.
People that want to talk to us, because we get a decent amount of listens every week, and nobody communicates with us.
Yeah.
Ever. Which is kind of sad.
Maybe we should hold our own Comic-Con, come see us.
Webheads Fest. June, we're going to go June 7th.
June 7th at your closest civic center.
Yeah. Wherever that is. I'm not sure. But we'll find it. We'll be there. Hopefully you guys meet us there too. But yeah, we spent a good amount of time just doing the events in order from 1939 to about 1991.
Yeah, I think we got early 90s.
Every event from 39 to early 90s. And then we decided that that was getting real boring real fast.
Yeah.
And this show is not going to continue very long if that was going to be the trajectory that we stayed on.
You guys would have heard us just each week just die a little bit more each week.
Yeah. And I can tell you right now, I would have died pretty quick doing that. So now we're choosing events that we want. We went through the whole list. We're choosing events that we want to do. So last week, or the last episode, we did Avengers versus X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
This week we're doing Venomverse.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a spin on the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. It's I wouldn't say it's as big as Spider-Verse.
No.
But definitely has some multiversal stories with some very powerful enemies.
Yeah. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, how have you been?
I've been cool. I've been reading, kind of just doing my own thing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging out with our guest Juan. We've been hanging out a little bit more.
We don't have a guest today.
Not today, but
our guest that's been on the show previously.
Yeah, he's been on once?
He came on once, and he has not come back since.
I've been hanging out with him, playing some games. Just trying to do the most with my free time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of it, so.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, recently I just hung out with my old coworkers. I would call them my friends. We've hung out enough times to say we're friends.
They're gonna see this in coworkers.
So yeah, we went to. This was just yesterday of the time we're recording. We went to play laser tag. I never played laser tag before. Really I don't know. I was already a little inebriated at the time, so. You go into a dark room, obviously, and the guy black lights, so you're already disoriented. You got little kids running around you, just popping up out of nowhere. You're trying to shoot people in. They play a video for us to how everything works. We didn't pay attention to that at all.
There's so many things that I do where there's an instruction video.
Yeah.
And I'll even if it's something that I'm building and it's a video, I'll play the video and not pay attention to a single thing that's in the video. I'm just sitting there zoning out, just and then the video's over, okay, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, so we went in and I was just pulling the trigger to shooting everybody. A lot of fun, you
Mm.
know. And then we went to go get some food after, but it was a cool night.
Yeah, I've never done laser tag. I want to try that.
Yeah, I'd say try it at least once.
All right, I'll do it.
Other than
I'm
that,
gonna go
though,
by myself.
yeah, that
Was it this one right here in Dublin?
no, it was in Hayward, right off of Foothill.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah,
didn't know they had one out there.
like a party place. There's like a restaurant and then like like an arcade and like laser tag and stuff.
Check that out. Lunch break,
Yeah,
laser tag. Lunch break, laser tag. Let's go. Me and a whole bunch of coworkers just to go get our frustrations out. I'm gonna start meleeing kids like that, like that kid did you.
yeah. There's a little kid who had obviously done this plenty of times before we had, and he would shoot us and then like run up to us and like melee us with the gun, like he was playing like Fortnite or something. And we were all really scared of him.
Just imagine his eyes just like it's like he's on cocaine.
Yeah, like he was just like he was blind shotting behind walls and everything, and then like you would run to the wall and like think you got him, and he wasn't there anymore.
He's a pro.
2 seconds later, he's like popping up like out of a window and
He like slides under your legs and he's like, "What's up at you?" Like, all right. And then when he dips back out and he like hits the back of your ankle, it's like, get down. You're done.
Yeah, but what about you? What have you been up to?
Oh man. So yesterday my best friend Aurora had
My best friend.
my best friend. She graduated from the police academy recently. So congrats to her. If I'm being honest, I do not care for cops. It's weird when your best friend just randomly decides to become a cop. So this is the only cop that I do like.
Give her my license plate number so I get that.
I'm gonna have her catch you quick. Hey, book him. You catch this man in Fremont, book him. So yeah, she just graduated from police academy. I think that's the right word for saying that she finished it, graduation.
Mm-hmm.
So she had a little celebration party. Me and Zara went to that yesterday, and then my brother-in-law had a baby shower at my house.
Nice. How'd that go?
It wasn't that bad actually. There was a lot of people canceled, so there was a lot less people there than I expected, which works out for me because even in my own home, having a lot of people there is very overwhelming for me. But yesterday wasn't that bad. There's a lot of babies in the house, which is a dream for me. If people come over to my house and they bring their babies, perfect. It takes away all my anxiety. Babies in the house, perfect. You bring a dog and babies, my weekend would be perfect. I can't think of a better thing to have my house full of. I don't want tons of babies for myself.
You want people to bring their babies?
Yes, because I will get tired of them. But that's it. Work's been the same. Still have coworkers that I don't like always, and yeah, that's it. I've been reading the lead up to Secret Wars, the 2015 one. So I'm going through Fantastic Four and FF, the Future Foundation story. It's really good. I've always heard good things about Jonathan Hickman's work, but I don't think I've ever actually read any of his stories. But this Fantastic Four story it's just so good. It's like really, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just really fucking good. It's crazy.
Which this is the 2012.
Yeah. And the artwork is the covers. Almost every cover that I've read so far has been amazing. Most of the artwork has been dope as hell. And the story writing is amazing.
But yeah, if I remember correctly from his Avengers run, and I think he did New Avengers too.
Mm.
Um, yeah, those ones were really good. Those were my favorite ones to read when they were coming out.
Mm.
You know, I would come back with like 7, 8 books that day, but like
Yeah.
I would save those ones for last because like they were always the ones that had like the most in them, and then it didn't feel like filler.
Yeah.
It always felt like something important was like happening and moving the story forward.
Mm. Yeah. No, it's good so far. And there was this guy on Reddit. He gave like this long-winded, like full rundown of what you should read before Secret Wars. Like, and he broke it down to like if you just want to read the main story, then do this. If you want to add a little bit more to it, do this. And if you want to do it all, then do this. And of course, in my head, it's like, okay, well, I got to do it all. so, so now I'm probably like 35 comics into like the total of what he put on there.
How many was it? Like,
It's a lot. It's um I want to say I'm like 30, 35 comics somewhere in there into it, and I'm not even halfway. I might be halfway through the Fantastic Four part.
hmm.
Maybe a little bit further, like 65% or something like that.
How many issues is Fantastic Four?
Um I think it's gonna go to 620, and I'm at 602 right now.
Okay.
And then it alternates from where I'm at now in the story. It alternates every other issue. So Fantastic Four, then FF, then back,
Okay.
and it's all both books are telling like an intertwining story. That man was putting in work for years.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't read those ones, but like even the Secret Wars, like Avengers stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like to kind of balance two stories and to like make sure that you're using all these different characters and you have to have them do something that's profound and like moves the story forward.
Yeah, right now I'm at a point where Spider-Man's on the team.
Okay. After Johnny dies.
Yeah, but it gets crazy after that. It's even crazier. You think Johnny Storm dying is going to be like the end all be all of the team. It gets crazier and crazier.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start reading that one.
Yeah, I'll send you the list later. Pretty good. But oh yeah, let's get into comics that are coming out this week. That's a lot of notifications. What do we got this week, y'all? This week is gonna be the 8th. This Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marvel Comics got a lot of stuff going on, y'all. Not really. Black Panther number 15. Bloodline, Daughter of Blade number 2. I didn't pick that one up. Fantastic Four. Speaking of Fantastic Four, they got a new run going right now, number 5. That one's been pretty good too. Mary Jane and Black Cat number 4. That one's pretty good. It started in the dark web storyline, and now they're finishing up. But the part that I don't like about it is that I think they originally planned for it to finish in the dark web timing, because in the they're in the story, they're still dealing with the dark web stuff. But in the Spider-Man story, they're already out of the situation. So that part I don't like. But the story is good. Moon Knight 21, New Mutants Lethal Legion number 1, Nightcrawlers number 2. That's part of that Sins of Sinister.
That one looks interesting.
Yeah, I'm reading that one too. It's all pretty good so far. Predator number 1, Scarlet Witch number 3. Those ones are really good. The Scarlet Witch one. Silver Surfer Ghostlight. I'm picking that one up. The first one was interesting. A couple of Star Wars ones. Amazing Spider-Man number 21, which has a Disney 100 variant cover It's the goofiest Incredible Hulk one.
Okay.
I think. Avengers number 66, X-23, Deadly Regenesis number 1, and X-Men number 20. So that's for this week. Next week, the March 15th, we got Avengers Forever number 15, Bishop War College number 2. I picked that one up. It's I'm giving it a chance. I picked it up on a whim. It wasn't even on my list. I just tried it. So I'm going to give it a chance and go for number 2. But we'll see how it goes from there. Captain America Symbol of Truth number 11. Both Captain America stories, Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers. It looks like their stories are going to start intertwining again because they have a Cold War event coming up. So we'll see how that goes. But both of them are still really good. And they're both about 11 issues in.
I gotta read those too.
Yeah. Captain Marvel number 47. Gold Goblin number 5. That one's still really good. My favorite character, Hellcat, is back. So we got Hellcat number 1. I'm excited for that. Hulk number 13. Immoral X-Men number 2. Also part of that Sins of Sinister. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur number 4. Red Goblin number 2. Ooh, not on my list. I gotta pick that up. Secret Invasion number 5, which I believe is leading to a different event, I think. Star Wars Yoda number 5. Avengers War Across Time number 3. That one's also very good. I've never seen this one. The Excellent number 1. Well, I don't know what that one is, but it looks kind of interesting. And Wolverine number 31. That's all we got for those 2 weeks. Some trade paperbacks coming out. Some omnibuses. Omnibuses are so expensive.
Omnibus.
Is that how you say it?
That's how I say it, omnibus.
Okay. Well, you giggled a little bit, so I was like, oh, did I say it wrong?
It just sounded funny when I said that.
Oh, it looks like on the 14th of March, the variants, that Jessica Drew one, Jessica Jones one. Why do I always do that? The Jessica Jones story, the variants, comes out in trade paperback.
Is that done?
Yeah, it was only 5 or 6 issues.
I'm still waiting for the 5th one.
Yeah, that story was really good too. I like that one.
Yeah, where I think the last one I read is like when all the other ones show up. Like after she finds out that one of them is.
Oh yeah,
they say they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite stories of last year, I think.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, sometimes the little limited series are just really good.
Because you have to get straight to the point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have 5 issues to really.
Yeah, I think
you
it's
in and like get the story and then get going.
Yeah, it's a good way too to like. It doesn't seem like they do it often, but I feel like that would be a good way to like get more, just get more characters out there, like get more stories that like we don't normally get.
Yeah. Because I mean, there's a lot of characters that either don't have their own stories or haven't had some in a while, but you can definitely put them in situations where you can get like a really good story out of it, depending on like their histories.
Mm-hmm.
But we would never know because like they're not going to get a full series. But
yeah, that's why I really liked that Exterminators one. Because I like when because some of these teams are so big, especially the X-Men.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's just you just wonder like okay, they're not fighting this big ass fight with everybody else. What the hell are they doing? And I think I really enjoy stories like that. Like, oh, what are they doing? And they're just like fucking chilling, hanging out. The Exterminators one was like, was it Boom Boom, Jubilee, X-23, and Dazzler?
I think you told me about this. You either told me or I seen it on TikTok, but someone told me it was like really good.
Yeah, it is really good. Yeah, the whole thing's good, and it's funny. And it's like it starts like with them just like just hanging out, just like kicking the shit, and they live off of a beach, and dads are just broke up with their boyfriend, who just happens to be a vampire, and she didn't know it. But it's a good story. It's funny as hell. But I like just give me 5 issues of like some side story.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be an event, guys.
Like we say, anything could be an event.
Everything's an event. All of it. All right, let's take a break for a commercial. And then we'll get to the story that we got today.
So take a listen to this quick sponsor and we'll be right back.
Right back.
Have you ever wanted to get out of a job? Not go to that party your girlfriend wants to take you to? Well, with the Essex Corporation, we can make a clone that can help you in that situation. With promo code WEBHEADS, you can get 1 free clone with all 10 purchases of clones. Remember, with Essex, you're nothing but meat.
Today we got the Venomverse, which, like we said earlier in the show, was like a multiversal, not a crossover, but just like its own standalone story.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of tie-ins on this? Because I didn't see a lot.
No. There's 5 of like the Venomized books, and then those just gave backstories on the Venomized versions of the characters that we see in the actual story. I think it continues though in like some of the X-Men books.
Yeah, there's stories called like Poison X that are like after.
Yeah. And so there's those, but as far as I've seen, I didn't see any other tie-in stuff or anything like that.
There was a lot of Funko Pops that came out of this.
Yeah. After reading it, I was like, okay, that's where this version of it came from or something like that. Because I remember I think they made a Gwenpool Venomized pop. And I was just, when I seen it, I was like, okay, that's cool, but like, what's the backstory behind it?
Yeah.
I didn't know it came from this.
Yeah, I have the Hulk one and Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I think I bought the Iron Man one from you.
I think you got both from me, the Hulk and the Iron Man.
Probably.
I think I still have the Captain America one.
But because there's a second part to this story that's like I think came out the next year.
Yeah. I think that's just in the Venom books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was expecting, because I have the Hulk Venomized pop, I was expecting that like we would see that in the story. And no.
Yeah. So to get into the story, pretty much it starts off with Eddie Brock Venom gets pulled in to this portal that takes him into...
Yeah, he was fighting Jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost murders the guy.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere just kind of gets translocated, teleported.
Yeah, portal opens behind him, he gets sucked in. He pops out in this world that looks similar to his.
Yeah, he's standing in the exact same spot that he was on his Earth.
Yeah, but this one just looks a lot more desolate and like destroyed.
Yeah.
And he sees this kid who's asking for help. So he tries to reach out his hand to, help the kid, and then Captain America's shield comes and just
smacks the kid
and kills him.
And Venom looks at him like, "What the hell did you do that for? Like, that kid needed help."
Yeah.
And Cap was like, "No, that would have killed you if you touched it."
And this is kind of like where the pops kind of like threw me off, because I have the Captain America one, and the Captain America Venomized pop it has the Venomized. It looks like a Venom Captain America cross.
Yeah.
But like in the book, all of the characters, all the Venomized characters, are really just in black symbiotes. There's no
Yeah.
there's not really anything to say like this is Captain America or like anything that specifically
And if
pops
anybody
out.
can tell us that we're missing something here, then tell us. But
Yeah.
Because I had the Iron Man one, I expected to see like that kind of Iron Man in there.
Yeah.
I don't even think he's not even in the story.
No, he's not in it. Cap Pop in the books don't look the same.
The Hulk's not even technically a Venom or has a symbiote in the story.
And it was just very like it threw me for a loop a little bit because I was really excited to see like I like seeing the when they combine characters and like what they come out looking like, but just to see everybody in just all black, looking like Venom.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this kind of. It was cool to kind of see the different characters they got, but at the same time, it was like they're all in black and white. And,
it wasn't anything like, nothing like the Pops. And like I said, we might be missing something here. Maybe the Pops didn't actually go for this story.
Yeah.
So we could be wrong, but these are the only two connections that I have.
Yeah.
Between the two. So I'm not really sure, but after Cap kills the kid. He takes Venom back to his team's hideout.
Yeah.
And then over there on the team that I saw, he had Deadpool, Spider-Man, X-23, Old Man Logan, Black Panther, Punisher. And,
Punisher was there?
Yeah. He doesn't have any part of the story for the most part.
That was, because I read the Venomized ones, like give the backstories, and they did the Punisher one, and I was like, where was he in all this?
Yeah, he's when they first get to the hideout, he's there, but like
he probably gets murked like a few of the other characters.
If he does, no one says anything about it. Nothing.
Because so like they get to the hideout, they explain everything to Venom.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically there's these creatures called poisons, or they call them poisons.
Yeah.
And they essentially they bond with the symbiote while the symbiote's bonded with a person.
Yeah.
And the poisons become stronger. They
Yeah,
basically
so
combine their strengths with the symbiotes.
Yeah, the symbiote makes them stronger, and then they use the human that's inside to basically fuel their body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that happens pretty much right after Venom gets there, and they explain everything. Yeah. They get attacked. And I think Flash Thompson, Agent Venom, gets killed pretty quickly by Hulk poison.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it jumps forward, like they escape or something. Maybe it's later on in the book, but they're asking who'd they lose?
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, we lost a few of them. And I was like, you only lost one person. I only saw Agent Venom die. I guess they lost a lot more.
Lost like a handful of people. They have Doctor Strange as their leader too.
Yeah, and he's Venomized.
Spider-Woman's there too.
Yeah, Mary Jane Spinneret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's there. Yeah, they have a large cast and a wide variety. Yeah, they got Space with Rocket. They got Mystic. They got your more street level. Mm-hmm. Good combo of everybody. So yeah, they get attacked. They have to leave their hideout. They split up. Spider-Man is there as well. He's in his black suit.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Venom don't really get along at that time because apparently this Spider-Man has never met a Venom that has moved on past like its lethal Venom and Eddie Brock hatred and all that. So there's some animosity between those two.
Yeah, and so everybody is clear also. This isn't happening in like the main like 616 universe.
Yeah, this is all in a separate universe.
Yeah, so like, and even all of the characters that we're seeing, the X-23s, the Punisher, Doctor Strange, they're also all from different universes.
Mm-hmm.
So like you were saying, like this Spider-Man doesn't actually know this Venom.
Yeah.
He just has his own Venom
on
his Earth.
So after getting ambushed, Spider-Man and Venom are escaping on their own, and then they get attacked by Doc Ock, poisoned.
Yeah.
And they're kind of not really holding their own. They're kind of getting their asses kicked.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man gets poisoned, and
but he sees right before he gets poisoned, he sees Aunt May.
Yeah.
And he's like the Venomized characters know that the poisons can take shape of things that they like desire or care
people
for
that they love, and
so like the poison's good side now. So like he saw the kid and needed help.
Yeah,
that's what he saw. Like Peter, right before they get him, sees Aunt May, and like throughout the story, like different characters will like see like
to try to get them to like give up and stop fighting.
And even though they know because they've been going at it for so long, like they miss these people, they love these people, so it's like, oh, like no, like just give me your hands, I can help you.
And so that's the thing with like the poison. So like even if when they're not bonded, they look like they have human shape almost, but very basic. So they have 2 legs, 2 arms, but they're just like spikes, and they have like pretty much just a mouth as a head.
Yeah, they looked like something. When I saw them, they looked like something, and I couldn't remember what it reminded me of.
Yeah,
but we'll post a picture somewhere here,
and
you guys can see it. And on
they're small. They're small little white, almost like shells. Yeah, they're just like shells.
They look like a Pokemon kind of, but I can't.
Yeah. And like if you guys want a symbiote, they're like liquidy and have no form. These are the complete opposite. They have a form. They're hard.
Yeah.
But once all they do is have to touch you, and then if you're venomized, they just start taking over. It's almost like you become crystallized.
Yeah.
And like
this is another question I had too that maybe you might know. When they were fully formed poisons after they've taken over one of the heroes, they were saying that in that form they can't take the symbiote off of they can kill the character, but like at one point they were saying that the fully formed ones, like you can touch them, but so maybe they could take the symbiote, but
they can't leave that body.
Oh, okay.
So it's like they can't touch a non-venom poisoned venom, and then automatically that person becomes one.
Okay.
So it's like
those ones now it makes sense. They could touch and fight those ones. Yeah. And not have to worry about losing their life. Yeah. But okay.
So we see Spider-Man become Venomized, and that one kind of connected it for me because I have the Venomized or the poison Spider-Man pop. So like, okay, I know what that is. So
I don't think I've seen that one.
That one's pretty cool.
I checked that.
So basically, Spider-Man becomes poisoned. And once they become poisoned, they're like super strong too. Yeah. Like they're able to one of them is able to take on like multiple Venomized characters. So I think Venom, Spinneret, Deadpool, and I think Old Man Logan show up, and they'll team up to try to fight Spider-Man. And like for a split second, he sees Mary Jane Spinneret and kind of like stops, like pauses because his memory is still kind of he knows of her. Yeah. So he eventually like leaves, and they try to team up with the rest of the crew that's separated from them.
Yeah. Right around that same time, they lose Captain America to the poisons as well.
Oh yeah, he stayed in their first hideout. Yeah. He gave everybody some time to get away.
Always saving everybody. But that wasn't a good idea because now you're going against all your friends, and like you're even 10 times stronger than you already were. Like Cap, like I thought you loved us, man. This is messed up. Like, what do we do to you?
So Cap gets captured,
and then that's when we finally see who's kind of like leading the team of poisons. And then it was Scarlet Witch, Sabretooth. Well, they were kind of like not leading.
They're like the muscle. Yeah. Kind of.
They were kind of like towards like,
because there is somebody above them who's telling them where to go and
yeah.
what the
These
plan
are like
is.
the higher ups.
Yeah, like
So,
Sabretooth and somebody else. They're sent after, like the ones that got away.
yeah.
But Scarlet Witch has like, and some other magic users are
It was
going to
Scarlet
be used for
Witch,
something else.
Sabretooth, Doctor Doom, Hawkeye, and Captain America and Spider-Man were like became like the higher ups after all that mess.
Yeah. So then we get to the new hideout, and during the fight, Deadpool notices that Spider-Man kind of hesitated.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, I got an idea." And so later on, we see, maybe like issue 2 or 3 or something.
Mm-hmm.
There's 5 issues, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe like issue 3, Deadpool leaves the group and goes to just surrender himself to the poisons.
Yeah.
And that's where that issue ends. What else happens after that?
They turn. Oh, Ghost Rider was on the Resistance too.
Oh yeah, Robbie Reyes.
Yeah. So, but he gets turned.
Oh.
And then
they brought Carnage in because they needed like a ace in the hole.
Yeah. Well, first they captured Doctor Strange.
Well, then they needed him to bring Carnage in, right?
Was that before? I
think so.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. You're right. They brought Carnage in.
They captured Doctor Strange after Carnage comes in, because that's where they find them again in their new hideout. Because Deadpool had turned himself and gave them up.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. So okay. Yeah. So they brought Carnage in, and then for some reason the poisons can't take over Carnage because they've only like their knowledge has only given them the ability to take over Venom symbiote.
I try to like let my mind just forget about stuff and just read the story and enjoy it. That was another thing that got me. It was like, we've seen all these other symbiotes throughout Venom's history and everything, and he has spawns, and there's a whole planet of symbiotes out there. Yet they're only going after the Venoms, and I was like, what? I get it's a Venomverse, but like, couldn't they have them attached to other symbiotes and like team up? And that would make it more of like a Spider-Verse, like closer relation than
maybe that happens in like the second story.
Yeah, we could just be
maybe we're
idiots for not reading the other part. But
that video is gonna come. All right.
But yeah, they've only basically taken over Venoms at this point. So everybody in this story, in their universes, have been attached to the Venom of that universe.
Yeah. Carnage comes in, and like he said, they capture Doctor Strange pretty soon after that.
Because he's already weak, because he's bringing in all these different Venomized characters is already taking a lot of his strength.
Before they brought Carnage, he was already like
so he needs a ton of time just to kind of like recoup. And like we talked about earlier, it takes 3 or 4 or 5 of them just to fight one poisoned character. So they bring Carnage in because he's a freaking beast, and he's just able to work everybody. So Carnage, they bring Carnage in, and he's just murking everybody, like not even like a hesitation or.
Oh no, he doesn't.
Because they basically tell him like, you can murder any of these guys that you want.
Because at first he was like, why did you guys even bring me here in the first place? Like, I'm gonna kill all of you guys.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, give us a second. If you kill all of these poisons first, then you can deal with us however you want to deal with us. And he's like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And then he just murders everybody.
Yeah. And then Robbie gets turned, and Carnage murders him pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But the poisons retreat because they got what they wanted anyways. They wanted Doctor Strange, so they captured him. They take him back to their base. But he has, his runes that basically allow him to just not be touched.
Yeah.
But like we were talking about, he's very weak, so he can't. He's holding on by like a thread, and they know it, and they're just all kind of waiting around for him to just drop, and then they can take him over.
Yeah.
Their whole goal really is to turn him, use his magic to bring in other symbiotes that they can just feed off of, and
they're just gonna
basically just take over from all of these different universes.
Not right after that, but soon after that is when we find out that Deadpool purposely gave himself up to the poisons.
Yeah.
And he did it because he, like you said, he saw Spider-Man kind of have that hesitation when he saw Mary Jane. And he thought, like, okay, like, I'm pretty sure I can pull off being able to separate these two in my mind.
Yeah.
So he gave himself up to the poisons, then gave up the rest of his team. And now he's going back to the symbiote, the resistance, to now help them go against the poisons because he has like the knowledge of like what they're trying to do and all that.
Yeah, and it's kind of messed up that they had to go through it, but like not really because they captured Poison Gwenpool. Just to Ant-Man is also Venom.
Yeah, I thought I said that.
Did you?
I don't know. I might not. I saw it on my list.
But yeah, they captured Gwenpool so they can find out where the poisons are hiding, so they can just take the fight to them.
Yeah.
Rocket has a plan, so they're gonna try to just end it all there. And so they captured Gwenpool, and she's not talking. She's basically just saying, you know, here's what we have planned. You guys don't have a chance in hell trying to defeat us. Deadpool comes in, kills her, and then tells everybody like what you just said.
Yeah.
And then they hatch their plan to go into the poison base and basically just start ending this war.
Yeah, trying to pick them off.
I'm not sure if it was in this. I think it is in these 5 issues, but basically, I don't know. They come to a conclusion like towards the end where they find out that Doctor Strange isn't bringing them in to fight.
Yeah, the Venom symbiotes are the Resistance team thought, okay, we'll keep having Doctor Strange bring in these Venoms so we have a chance to win. But then Deadpool let them know, like, the poison stopped giving a shit about you guys, about winning a fight with you guys like a long time ago. Like, we just keep killing you guys because we know that Doctor Strange is gonna keep bringing Venoms in.
Oh, so they're just
like all you're doing is building our army for us. But now that like the whole thing is like, oh, let's just get Doctor Strange for ourselves, turn him poison, and then it's gonna up his strength, so we don't have to worry about only bringing in a few at a time. So it's like the quicker we turn him, the easier this is for all of us. And then you guys have like 10 people left, so your chances are slim.
Yeah.
Like now we can just bring in Venoms right in front of us, immediately touch them, and then we're good.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we're like on our last issue. The Resistance is gonna go all in on this. They're betting all the chips.
Yeah, their plan was to act like Deadpool captured Carnage.
Yeah.
And then drag him in there, and then they went to town.
Yeah, Deadpool and Carnage to start murdering as many poisons that are coming at him.
Yeah.
Rocket and Ant-Man are going into like the insides because their base is basically a giant ship. So Rocket's been building these bombs all throughout all these 5 issues, but he hasn't had time to actually use them except for one in the first one where he buys some time.
Yeah.
I think they kill Poison Hulk in that. But yeah, him and Ant-Man and Rocket that's their task is to get this bomb all set up and everything. Spinneret, X-23, Old Man Logan, they are, and yeah, their task was like fighting the poisons that are coming at them.
Yeah.
And then I forget what everyone else does. I think Black Panther, Venom,
The rest of the team tries to go off to find Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And then when he has guards in front of him, obviously. When they get up there, Doctor Strange uses like really almost the last of his powers to put a spell over the rest of his team, so the poisons don't kill them.
Yeah.
And then they're able to free Doctor Strange, and then
Rocky hits the bombs.
Rocky hits the bombs. Strange gets the rest of the team out of there.
Sends them back to where they came
from. In the meantime, Venom's fighting Spider-Man again.
Yeah.
And
they basically leave Carnage and Deadpool to get blown up.
Yeah, there is a sacrifice. But they both know it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they both look at each other like,
this is something like, as weird as this is to say, there's no one I'd rather die with than you. And then Carnage is like, shut the fuck up.
And yeah, they
there's something in there that it kind of disturbed me a little bit when Ant-Man because Ant-Man thought he saw Cassie. Scott thought he saw Cassie, so he touched the poison and started taking over.
Yeah.
And he starts like begging for help. And Rocket's just like, I don't have time to help you. Like, you know what you were doing. But X-23 puts him out of his misery before he gets fully turned and cuts him in half. I was like, geez, that's...
Yeah, shit's sad.
Yeah.
It was really sad. But yeah, they all get sent back, and then roll the end credits. But then there's a mid-credit scene.
Yeah, there's a post-credit scene in this one.
And that's as Doctor Doom. He goes to his boss, and he apologizes for not being able to capture Doctor Strange Venom. But the boss tells him, "Don't worry about it. There's other wizards out there. We'll figure it out." And who do we see as the boss?
Thanos.
Poison Thanos.
Yeah, and he's surrounded by a bunch of other characters. I forget who else is there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't take note of it.
There's a bunch of other powerful poisons out there that obviously have some sort of plan that we didn't read into too much.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I read the kind of tie-ins to the Venomized ones.
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of give backstories on how these characters got their Venoms.
Yeah.
They were all pretty
boring.
There's
not another way to put it. Those shits are boring.
There's one. I don't even think this girl showed up.
Who?
The girl who became the Black Panther?
No.
Yeah, she didn't even show up in.
Not a single. Not at all.
So basically, there's this girl. She's a sprinter and she loses the ability to run.
Mm-hmm.
And outside her house or something, Black Panther's fighting Rhino. And I guess Rhino's trying to get the Venom symbiote to like his boss or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Black Panther gets killed. The Venom symbiote goes over this girl, and then she gets the ability to use her legs again. Mm-hmm. But she also becomes Black Panther and Venom.
Mm-hmm.
But we never see her.
We never see her
in
once.
This story again or at all.
Not once. I even read through those and like took notes on it, so I was like, cool. I got my notes, and I read through the actual story, and none of that did anything for me.
Yeah,
you could not read those and be completely fine going into the story.
Yeah, I mean, because you already know if you don't read a lot of books, or if you don't know, like you may not know these characters like all that well.
Yeah, you might not. Yeah, know
but I mean, realistically, Old Man Logan, like you don't need to know too much about him. X-23, you don't need to know this story of how she got the Venom. Like, they just weren't worth the read. But after the story, the 5 issues, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I want to read the second part of it.
Yeah, I thought the art was really good too. Forgive me because I didn't look to see who did it.
Yeah,
but it was really like vibrant and like. There's always action in all the panels. There's not a lot of just standing around talking.
No.
There's
it was a quick read too, though.
Yeah.
Like I think I read all 5, like the pre stories, and the main story. Was that 10 issues in like 2 days?
Yeah. I think I got through like out of the 5, I got through 3 of them in one day, and then the rest, maybe the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So it was super quick, and that's why I decided to read the Venomized ones, because I was like, I need something else to read.
Yeah.
So I started reading those, and then I started reading the X-Men ones that come
The
after.
Poison X ones.
Mm-hmm. So I started reading
Are
those.
those a part of this main story?
Well, on the Marvel Unlimited app, when you go to the Venomized,
It shows them after.
It shows them after.
Yeah.
So I think it's following up. I think it leads into the Venom issues that
The next story.
the next half of this.
Oh, okay.
So I was like,
then I'll go back and read those then.
Yeah, I was like, I might as well just read.
I was gonna say there's no X-Men in this story.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the hell that came from.
But in the X-Men one, there are other symbiotes.
Okay.
That pop up. So
right, I'll read that.
Maybe it'll tie into that. But yeah, otherwise it was short, gets to the point. The art was really good. Writing was really good too. Yeah, I mean, I know we kind of said it earlier about how it's almost like the Spider-Verse and all that, but if you like Spider-Man, if you like the Spider-Verse stories, you'll still find this enjoyable.
Yeah.
Especially if you like Venom. And I mean, I think it's well worth the read.
Yeah.
To do.
I liked it. I really liked it. And I think it's really only a connection to the Spider-Verse in the name itself.
Yeah.
But it was good, and we'll do another episode on the second half eventually. Maybe soon, maybe not.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it.
I really like how, I mean, and this isn't a recent thing, but like how Venom is so tied closely to Spider-Man, but yet he reaches like different parts of the Marvel universe. Like, they're really starting to, over like the past like 10 years or so, maybe even less, they've really started diving into like Venom's alien origin.
It's been a lot less than 10 years.
Yeah.
Because this was 2017.
Yeah.
When this story came out.
And I know he was on the Guardians for a minute. Or Flash Thompson was on the Guardians. And like, I think they did some space stuff.
Yeah, but even that, just like, when you think back to like the beginning of Spider-Man and like Flash Thompson is just like a classmate of Peter's, and then for him to be that, and then he's a member of the Guardians.
Yeah, it's
crazy. But I think I read with this story is like the beginning of when they wanted to start making Venom something bigger than he's been. So there was this event, and then the second part of it. They re-released. I think last year they re-released the Venom Lethal Protector series. Or I don't know. It's not a re-release. They made a new one. This year they're doing Lethal Protector 2 for Venom. So he's getting a lot of love lately. The King in Black stuff.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah.
Recently. Yeah, they've definitely, I mean, he's always kind of been, not always, but like, even after when he was first introduced, he still became sort of an anti-hero. And even now, he's still an anti-hero.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, even like the movies, he has his own movie.
Oh, don't talk about those. Please don't bring those
But I kind of want to see how much they made.
Those movies are just so bad.
I don't know what. I'm not going to get into it. I just don't think Tom Hardy's a good fit for Eddie Brock.
Yeah, I just don't like I think we talked about it before. I just don't like the way they wrote him. Yeah. He's like, most of the things that I've read in the comics about Venom, Eddie Brock is like a tough guy. Like, he's not like with the shits.
Yeah.
And then like Venom like heightens that personality, and that's why like he goes on those streaks where he's killing people, he's doing it for whatever reasons he thinks are right, and then just going about his business.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you can't have Venom without Spider-Man, because if you think about it, like, Spider-Man had the symbiote. Spider-Man has this idea of justice, and what the symbiote does is just, like you said, it amplifies those feelings and those ideas that you have to where it's almost like manipulating you. It's like,
yeah,
well, that is justice, but like, what's a little bit more? It keeps pushing you.
Yeah.
But now, like, when Spider-Man dumps the symbiote and it goes to Eddie, it's like, now it has like this twisted version of it. But in the movies, like, you don't get that. Like, you get the silly, like, talking, like, voice in his head, and then
it would have made more sense had they actually put him in one of the Spider-Man movies first, like in the Tom Holland ones, and then we like, even if it's like I don't think it would be good as an end credit scene in Spider-Man, but like it would have only made sense to put him in the Spider-Man movie, let them actually go at it, and then cool, he loses to Spider-Man in the movie, but then now we have this base for Venom, and why this is what he is, and then
then you put him off on his own,
do his own thing. But those two movies are movies I'm never going to go back to.
So the first Venom movie made $856.1 million off a $100 to $116 million budget.
That's the shitty part. Is like they still like that movie still succeeded.
Yeah. Now the second one had a $110 million budget, but only made $506.9 million. The same budget made less money.
Less budget made less money. That's $6 million.
Oh, actually, well, because the first one 100 to 116.
Oh, okay.
And it made 856. But the second one 110, so right in the middle, but made less money.
Yeah.
Third one's coming out. I don't know who they're gonna have him fight now, since he already fought Carnage.
Yes, I like Venom has this huge like rogues gallery where you can just pick.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of symbiotes he can fight, but it's like then it's just the same movie over and over.
Yeah.
And you can't have him fight a non-symbiote, because, I mean, you could have, but I feel like that should have been like the first or second movie. You should have saved Carnage for the third movie and built him up.
Yeah.
So then now he just seems like, they could have had the Venom symbiote create the spawn at the end of the first one. Second one, we start hearing about like this thing, and then or at the end of the second one, cliffhanger.
Yeah.
This thing is.
My thing is just like, I don't know. It just wasn't neither one of them are good movies. The second one's really bad. The second one's way worse than the first one.
I haven't seen the second one.
You don't. I like Woody Harrelson. I get it.
I don't like him as Cletus Cassidy.
No, I don't either. And he's just so bad. To be honest with you, I would be okay if I never saw Carnage in animation, live action, anything. I like Carnage as a character in the comic books, but they make his voice so fucking annoying in any animation or live action thing.
Is it the accent, or is it just like
I can deal with the accent? It's the screechy, like, fuck, I hate it so much.
He does scream a lot.
Yeah. I can't remember what show it is off the top of my head. It was an animated show. I want to say, what Spider-Man was that? Where they after Spider-Man an animated series?
Spider-Man Unlimited.
Yeah, I think he's in there. It's literally the most annoying voice I've ever heard in my life. It sounds like whatever version you have of Carnage's voice in your head right now, amp that up 10 times and imagine that somebody's mimicking that voice in the worst way possible. I'm gonna try to find it and play it. You know what? Let's go to a commercial while I try to find this because you guys are gonna deal with it. We'll be right back, guys. Headaches, we all get them. We all wish they would go away. There is a solution. The Webheads Podcast. Just one listen, there's no more tension, no more throbbing, no more pain. Your headache, sorrows, confusion, completely gone. Webheads Podcast. Alright guys, welcome back. I couldn't find it, but in my head it's annoying. And but yeah, that was the Venomverse. Like we said, we're gonna get to that second part of the story at one point. We'll link it back to this episode so you guys can listen to both.
Previously on Webheads. But yeah, overall, I would say this is a good story.
Yeah,
had a good time.
I definitely recommend it.
Didn't feel like I was like torturing myself by reading something.
Mm-hmm. And if you guys want more Venom stories, like we were saying, there's last year they did a limited series of Venom Lethal Protector, which is really good. In 1993 they did a Lethal Protector limited series then as well, which was really, really good. They're doing a Lethal Protector 2 this year, I think starting in July. So if you want to wait for that to come around, King in Black was another event that was from 2-3 years ago.
Two.
Recently, it was a recent
really
event. So if you can find probably the trade paperback somewhere. Mm-hmm. You can find it on Marvel Unlimited. That's the good thing about Marvel Unlimited I like is that most of the events you can just go in there, type it in, and it'll give you the whole order for everything. Sometimes I don't like the orders that they put on there. There's a website that I go to. It's like CMRO, Travis something. Mm-hmm. It's basically a complete Marvel reading order. And this guy has the reading orders for fucking everything. He even has like the whole 616 like timeline. If you want to read through the whole 616 thing, all 33,000 issues, he has it in order. And it's not like read this whole run of Incredible Hulk and this whole run of Captain America. Like that shit is like there's points like 15 pages in where you're like, oh, read this Hulk issue and then go read this Captain America and then go to the Iron Man. And it's like, I don't know who's behind that website, but
I would want to read like that, at least like a few issues just to kind of see how they all connect.
Yeah.
But from our experience on this show and like us reading events where it's like, okay, read this issue and then go to this series and read that issue. And all it's really doing is saying, oh, I haven't seen the Hulk since he smashed up Idaho or something. And it's like that one sentence is the only reason it's telling you to read that one book.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm not. There's the completionist in me that wants to do it. One, I know I won't finish.
Yeah.
Two, just for the exact same reason that you said, I know that it's gonna piss me off so many times where it's like, yeah, I haven't seen Hulk since such and such, or oh, you remember that time Captain America smashed through the building?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that was the only connection. And then that's going to piss me off enough to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will completely stop and I won't go back. Because there's like my mind hyper fixates on one idea. So that's why I can tell you that I would probably start it. But I also like the minute there's something that stops me from enjoying it, it's like, okay, I'm never going back to that again. And and doing the events the way that we were doing it it was that point where it broke me.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'm not doing that again. I'm only gonna read stuff that I want to read.
That we want to actually
know
what's happening.
Yeah, it's gonna take the joy out of this for me, and then I'm not gonna want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're still here. I haven't given up yet, guys. So yeah, we're done. That's all we got for today.
Thank you guys for joining us again, and I know it's been a process of us changing little things here and there, and since we came back,
we were filming this today. We got a new little camera situated here. Thanks, Dad. And I think I might have put the video settings too high, which is why it ran through that SD card with the quickness. So, but you know what? I might just post the video just to give people
just to see.
Yeah, just to see get it out there, and then get a bigger SD card.
Yeah.
But I think so far we got a decent setup. And if you want to check out the video, check us out on YouTube at the Webheads podcast. It'll also be posted on the audio, the video every week or every time we post a new episode. Always on the website. You can find the audio always on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere you can get podcasts. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yep. Remember, hit us up on Instagram
at the Webheads Podcast.
That's the Webheads Podcast, or you can hit us up on our individual pages.
Yep. Mine is
me first.
No, mine is Steven St.Even. That's it.
Saint Even.
Or
Street.even.
Either one.
Mine is DeMarco Lamont. DeMarco_Lamont.
Ooh.
You can find me there. Send me requests,
Mm-hmm.
And then let us know.
You can find our sister at. No, I won't do that to her. Because she won't respond to any of you guys. I can tell you that. But yeah, that's it. That's all we got. Peace out. We will see you guys in a few weeks.
Bye.
Bye.